Welcome to this episode of Morrison Madness. I'm so lost as to what episode this is. I feel like it's episode 58.
58? Wow.
Something like that.
And we've been married for 102 years?
Almost.
Oh, good.
And that makes me how old?
I don't know.
45.
Okay.
Always 45.
I'll take it.
22. Everybody's 22.
So I'm Don. This is Lachelle. This is my mom. My mom's name is Sheila. So we brought my mom here to help tell a story about something that happened to me when I was pretty young. And I don't fully remember all of it, probably because my head got banged around a little bit. But I do remember bits and pieces of it. So I will try to tell the story, and then my mom will step in and correct me when I'm wrong, because that's what moms are good at. And we'll probably let my mom tell most of the story.
Yeah, I was going to say, I want to hear your mom's version of the story. I think
But
that's
mom wasn't
more accurate.
Mom wasn't there for parts of it.
Oh, that's true.
So
But first, I want to set something straight.
Oh, goodness.
oh no.
Here we go.
Well, I was watching the podcast where Robbie was eating the towels in the kitchen. And I think the problem is it's got the wrong name.
Oh, right.
If you would have given Robbie Roberta or a female name, it would have been much smarter. Especially in cleaning, because Robbie hasn't got a clue about towels on the floor.
Yeah. I could agree with that, yeah.
I think you need to change it, Don.
It says on his birth certificate, Robbie the Rambunctious Roomba. I'm not changing it. There's an expense to that, and I'm just not doing it.
I'll text you some ideas.
He knows his name is Robbie.
It's like a sex change, Don.
He
It can
identifies
happen.
as male. A 2-year-old male.
Okay, nothing on the floor is safe then.
If you're wondering what in the world we're talking about, then you are not following us on Instagram and Facebook, because we do post videos of our Roomba, which we have named Robbie the Rambunctious Robot Roomba, and had the trouble that he gets into here in our house. And so definitely make sure you're following us on Instagram and Facebook so you can see all of those kinds of videos and the craziness that happens in our house.
Yes.
So you can find us on Instagram and Facebook at morrison.madness. We've also started a Twitter account, which is supposed to be for Don to randomly put whatever is in his mind out there, which I don't feel like you do as often as things pop into your brain. But maybe if he gets in the habit, it'll come
A lot of times I don't have my phone.
Yeah. Yeah. Or it'll pop in your head and you can't type at that point or what have you. And then
Right.
it's gone by the time you can. So,
Welcome to ADD world.
Right. So, but we are on Twitter as well. So I can't swear that all of the stuff will end up on Twitter or Instagram the same way that it does on Facebook, just because Facebook is a little bit easier for us to upload full videos, things like that. But we're doing our best. I'm not a very big social media guru, and I'm just doing it myself, which is a little difficult.
I help.
You help. You help come up with stuff. So, but yes, definitely make sure you're following us on that. And also, if you're listening to our podcast, make sure you're liking our podcast. Leave us a review. We'd love to hear from you. And also, if you're watching us on YouTube, make sure you're hitting that subscribe button and the thumbs up or like button. That helps us to get more viewers out there seeing
Comments,
us.
questions, suggestions about stuff you'd like to hear as well.
Absolutely, yeah. Especially like on YouTube, we can have conversations. We can comment back and forth. So feel free to comment there if you'd like. We love to hear from you guys.
So I'm going to set this story up by, if you have followed our podcast, you know that Dawn gets hurt a lot. We talked about the fact that the first time that Lachelle had to take me, and I quote, the first time that Lachelle had to take me to the ER, she had been warned that I have my own room there. And when they asked if I wanted my own room, she really was surprised. She thought I was kidding. But it's true. I'm very accident prone and go to the hospital a lot. And that's not something that like came on as an adult. It's not like adult onset accident proneness. This is, I was born this way.
And just to clarify, the hospital that he had his own room in the ER was the university hospital. So it wasn't a small place that when you walk in and the nurses and the doctors go, oh, hey, Don, do you want your regular room? That's the university hospital here. So, yes, you're there a lot.
Yes.
Mm-hmm. You should pay rent, probably.
So,
Anyway.
when I was about 6 years old, we were visiting my cousins who lived just off of Highway 6 in Iowa City. And me and two of my cousins decided that we were going to go over to Wardway Plaza, which doesn't exist anymore. It's a fin and feather now. But at the time, there was a Montgomery Wards there. And in the entryway to Montgomery Wards, there was like, I don't know, 50 different gumball, super ball, jawbreaker, jelly bean.
Machines.
Yeah.
Sure.
And so we were going over to get gum.
And Highway 6 is not a slow street. Like
No.
It has a lot of traffic.
Yes, it's very busy.
So I got the story you were going to go watch the airplanes.
And we went to get gum.
Oh,
Who told you we were going to watch airplanes?
Sissy.
I don't. Maybe Sissy wasn't supposed to have gum. I don't know.
Maybe she wanted to go watch the airplanes.
We went to go get gum,
Okay.
and we got the gum, and we were on our way back.
Oh, okay.
This is why we have the podcast.
I thought
so
you
you
were
can learn
just
things.
running across.
No. We were on our way back. So these are the parts that I remember. It's the stuff that happened after that I don't remember all of. So we went south across just fine. Went to Wardway Plaza, got the gum, and then walking back through the parking lot, and we get to Highway 6, and we're getting ready to cross Highway 6, and it's Sissy, me, and then Derek. And Sissy started across, and apparently Sissy saw what was coming, and Sissy jumped back. But because Sissy had started across, then I started across, and I didn't see what was coming.
Because you looked where?
I don't know where I looked. I don't remember where I looked.
You
I
did-
know I started across after Sissy, and Sissy stepped back, and the next thing I know, I was sliding through the gravel.
Does this sound familiar? Look both ways.
Before you cross the street.
Yeah.
No, follow your elders.
Yeah, look what happened.
Yeah, so I got hit by a bus, and it threw me along the side of the highway. And then after that, I remember being surrounded by a bunch of people, hollering and yelling at me and screaming at me not to get up. And
So Sissy comes running to me, who's at her mom's house, and she says, Donnie got hit by a bus. And I'm go, what? He got hit by a bus. I said, oh, okay. So Sherry,
Like, it's not
Sherry,
a regular thing.
Sherry and I go following Sissy because I didn't know where this bus was.
And how old was Sissy at the time?
Well, she's
a
about
year older.
So she would have been
a year and a
7.
half older.
No, a
7 or
year.
8.
Her birthday's October 10th. Mine's November 21st. A year and a month.
Okay. So, as I'm approaching the bus that stopped, and there's all the passengers on the bus are off the bus, all standing around him, and I can see under the bus this red color, and I'm thinking it's blood,
Right?
but actually it was like a flannel type blanket with Indian design. It had lots of red in it.
Gotcha.
So we walk around, and he's laying there, and I go, so what happened?
Well, now wait. Now I remember being surrounded by all of these people, and I hear my mom say, let me through, let me through. And this woman says, no, just stay back. I'm a nurse. And my mom said, I don't give a shit. I'm his mother.
Yeah, that's true. That happened. So anyway, I said, Sherry, I can't walk around that bus because I didn't know what I was going to see.
Right.
And she goes, well, we have to. I go, okay. So we walk around, and there he is laying on the ground with this Indian blanket over him. And the bus driver, very nice elderly man, says, he's okay. He said, I was going very slow. When I saw the kids, I slowed way down, and I just bumped him. And Don says to me, the bus jumped off my bionic arm.
You said that?
Yes.
Apparently,
And I
$6
said,
million man was quite the show back then.
I said, then why are you the one laying on the ground?
Right. The bus should be broken.
So, we head to the hospital. I didn't call an ambulance or anything. We just drove him after we exchanged names and phone numbers with the bus driver. It was a Trailway bus, by the way.
Yeah, he told me Greyhound
Yeah.
when I did the post a week or so ago. Yeah, he doesn't remember.
So
He wasn't with himself.
we get to the ER and we're waiting, and I think, well, I better call his dad and let him know we're going to be a little later than usual because we're in the ER. And
This is the same father that when I'm a little bit older and it's the night of the school carnival, and I tell him that my stomach hurts really, really bad and I'm really, really sick and I can't get off the couch. I think I was like 10. He gave me some Digel, right? And if you are older, you would know that Digel had these commercials that if you take it, you get the Digel difference and then you feel better. I did not feel better. I ended up having to go to the hospital with appendicitis and have surgery.
yes, this is true. So anyway, I call Don and he says, I said, we're going to be a little late. Don got hit by a bus and he goes, what? Just get him a room there. Surely they have padded rooms where he could stay. And he hung up on me. And I'm like, well, that didn't go as planned. So it's the university, so it took forever. They had to check him all over and couldn't find too much wrong with him. So
They did have to pick rocks, though, out of my knees,
Oh, yeah.
my elbows, and my chin.
yeah.
I slid quite a ways in the gravel.
But the bus bounced off of you. I didn't see any rocks embedded in the bus.
They were in the tires. I don't know what to tell you.
But he survived it, and Don was talking to us when we got home, so everything was on the up and up there. But yeah, too many injuries, Don. Too much time in the ER. Wasted time.
Yeah, he likes to spend time in the ER for some reason.
I
I'm not
know.
really sure why.
I'm not either.
I don't know. I will say this. I'll I don't know if Trailways is still a thing, but
It is.
two thumbs up to Trailways. I mean, they were super nice. They sent me a check, right? Which is kind of at the time I didn't know this. As a grown up, I know that when an insurance company for another company sends you a check, it's a bribe to get you to not sue them. Mm-hmm. I didn't care. Right?
Yeah, 'cause they
I got all
say-
this money, and I got to go buy a couple of go-karts and a dirt bike, and I was in kid heaven.
It says on the check, payment in full,
Right.
Right.
by your signature or something like that. So, and I told them they didn't need to send anything. I was just grateful that the driver was so conscientious, but they insisted, so we got the check.
And you let him get go-karts and dirt bikes.
I
And
don't think she had anything to do with that. I think my dad and I went.
your
like-
dad did it because he was hoping you would stay permanently in that padded room.
Yeah,
The
I don't-
hospital, I think. Was
I think when we got home with the go-karts, my mom was like, "What? Why? Why would you? A child that lives in the ER, why would you get him things like this?
Well, that's kind of what I was thinking.
Weapons of non-destruction."
Right?
Yeah. And the lighter you are,
The faster they go.
and the faster they go, the higher off the seat you fly.
Yep. But who never got hurt riding any of those?
You,
This guy. Who got hurt?
Michelle.
And who got hurt riding the dirt bike?
Dad.
My dad.
I know.
And to
my-
clarify, Michelle is your sister.
Yes.
Because it sounds so much like my name. I don't
Oh.
want people to think that I got hurt
No.
on his go-karts before
Michelle.
Right.
Yeah.
Right.
Yep.
So.
She'd just be hanging on and her body's flying behind it. I'm like, oh my gosh.
So I think we have enough time. You should tell the story about when you had to have a patch over your eye in the hospital.
Oh, good
Oh.
Lord.
I don't remember why you were there, but
You
I've
tell
heard,
what you remember and I'll butt in.
There you go.
So when I was in preschool, I was about 4 years old.
Yeah.
And the preschool wasn't very far from where we lived on Benton, just off of Benton Street. And me and another little boy were fighting over a jump rope. And this jump rope happened to be one of those kinds that was made out of stretchy material. And so we were pulling against each other with it, and it was stretching and stretching and stretching. So then when he let go of his end, the handle on it flew at me and hit me in the eye. And a blood clot formed behind my eye. And so the doctors, in their infinite wisdom, they decided that the best way to treat this was to make a rambunctious 4-year-old completely blind. And they put patches over both of my eyes. And then I was supposed to be in the hospital for like a week or 10 days or something like that. And somewhere, somehow in the hospital, in my blind state, I found a safety pin.
Wait. You were supposed to be there to be sedated because you were very hyper. And they were trying to dissolve the clot in your eye. And
How were they dissolving it? They were just waiting for it to resolve.
maybe to absorb.
There was no sedating happen. I want to be sedated.
So you were so skinny when you were little that they had a rule then you had to wear hospital pajamas or robes or gowns or whatever. And they were so big on you that they put a safety pin around the waist.
Now I know where the safety pin came from.
Yes, to keep them up. And you were in a baby bed type thing to keep you corralled. And you had a Jolly Green Giant to sleep with.
And my Spider-Man.
Yes. So go ahead, continue.
So I get this safety pin and I have it open and I'm tapping it on the wall. And as I'm tapping it along the wall, I get a different sound. Well, I don't know what I'm hitting it on because I'm blind, right?
Well, and you're 4.
I have patches on both my eyes.
Right.
I thought you had
No.
one dot open. Nope.
Not yet.
Full patches over both
Later
eyes.
they did.
And so tap it on this part of the wall and it makes a thud sound. And I tap it on the other part of the wall and it makes a clink, clink, clink sound, right? So I'm tapping it back and forth, back and forth, back and forth.
You were
I
a
didn't
drummer.
realize.
You were a drummer already then.
Yes.
Yes.
Oh, yeah.
I didn't realize that what I was tapping on that went clink, clink, clink was the light switch on the wall. And I poked that safety pin into that light switch in next to where the switch goes up and down, and it went inside there, and it welded itself to that metal plate and shorted out the entire ward.
This is true. Because every time there's an incident, they have to call me and tell me what happened.
Every time there's an incident.
Yes.
Did you get any sleep while he was in the hospital, or were they just calling you every 15 minutes?
He also, the Jolly Green Giant fell out of the bed. And so I think this is after they gave you one
Right, so after the electrifying welding shorting out the
Yes.
ward situation, they decided that the good eye could have a patch that had holes in it so I could see a little bit.
Because with the one eye patched, it would still follow the eye that could see out the one hole. And it was straight. It was just the one in the middle was open, so you could barely see. But then when the giant fell out, you leaned over the bed to look for it, and guess what? The side rail went down. And he went out on his head.
This is a new story. I haven't heard this one yet.
I don't think I remember that one.
Oh, yeah. So again, I got an incident call, and they had to take you down and see that nothing was injured.
How would they know?
Yeah,
I mean,
I don't know how they know.
all of the people that know me from all of the other things that we do from our DJ company, karaoke, and Name That Tune, and this explains so much, doesn't it? They're all sitting at home going,
Oh, yeah.
yeah,
That's totally
now
yeah.
we understand. Now we get it.
Yeah.
Yep. So then they called me and said, we're going to take all the kids in this ward to a puppet show, except for Don. And we don't have anybody to sit with him, so we need you to come and sit with him. I'm like, okay. He just done his best behavior, talking 90 miles an hour, telling me everything he knew, but I think they needed a break away from him.
Probably.
Yes, nonstop chatter, and he knew a lot and was sharing it, and
Right.
yep.
That's funny. I I don't remember ever hearing that part about the railing falling down. I
Oh,
mean,
yeah.
I remember that the Jolly Green Giant fell out, but I don't remember going out after him.
Well, I don't think you meant to. You were just putting your
Right.
weight on it, and down it went.
Well, you'd think that a hospital would be a safe place to go.
I know.
Not for this guy.
They didn't give you your own room then.
No.
Or it would have been padded.
Right. I'm
All
not sure
right.
there is a safe place for you.
Well, I think that's a good place to stop for this episode. We'll be back next week. God only knows with what.
We hope you had a good time. It was interesting to me. I got to learn more stuff.
So thanks, Mom, for coming and
Yeah,
joining us for this
Sure.
podcast.
No problem.
All right.